Ever ask yourself why Catalunya is so green? Well, it rains a lot, and I think an awful lot of that fell from the sky today. Great names were signing on for the Tour of Catalunya, the fourth oldest race on planet Earth. After the Tour de France, Tour of Belgium, and the Giro D'Italia, it's been running since 1911. And one thing has always been predictable about it, and that is the sheer unpredictability of it. Nobody quite knows how any single day will go, and it was pretty much like that today. The opener, 178.6 kilometres with one big loop taking up 2/3 of the course, and then a shorter loop to finish off after we'd visited the finish line more than once. Well, the ramp at the end of the day, a warning to absolutely everybody, and we've seen some very close calls in the past. And in fact, our breakaway with two from Euskaltel, Euskadi with Van der Tuuk and Alastiza, they were busy taking on Mountains points. Faro was there for Burgos as well as Castellón from Caja Rural. Euskaltel would end up with the King of the Mountains jersey, but who on earth was going to win the day and take the lead of the race? Well, the breakaway was caught on the run down to the first crossing of the start-finish line of the final loop, and really it was a warning to everybody of just how dangerous the wet roads were, but also how tough the stepped ramp finale was going to be. Kind of getting used to it. So did they take on board the warnings? That was the big question. So they crossed that start-finish line with just under 60 kilometres to go, taking on board warm clothing, Marc Soler. Well, UE Team Emirates were working extremely hard. They were, of course, looking after race favourite Juan Ayuso. Primož Roglic had teammates around him with Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe trying to dictate the pace, dictating the intermediate sprint. Enric Mas picked up 3 bonus seconds. Very, very valuable they could prove to be on a race that quite often finishes very, very close. Geraint Thomas wasn't close to the pack, unfortunately. Maybe his job was done as patriarch of the team, looking after Axel Laurence out there. Mas then, with those bonus seconds in his back pocket, Roglic also getting up to take a solitary second off the floor. Meanwhile, 16.1 kilometres to go, nobody wanted to end up on the floor, keeping it very, very cagey. While gaps were opening up, Axel Laurence was out of position, so retrieval game for him perhaps. Primož Roglic just tucked in on the back wheel of UE Team Emirates, and the pace was very high. Other riders were isolated with no teammates around them, including Matthew Brennan, the youngster, on a run of 3 great results. And indeed, Alpecin de Koenig were kicking on. Could they, would they, possibly have made the same crucial and brilliant move that we saw the year prior when Nick Schultz went for it? Alpecin were on an absolute charge. Could they make it home? Caden Groves was on the back wheel here of Matthew Brennan, who was grinding into the gap. They were busy looking over his shoulders. How would this one pan out? In the end, it turned out to be an absolute corker. What a finale! My goodness, Brennan is really grinding into the gap here, and in fact he's shortening the distance. 150 minutes to go, just tying up here Thibaut Del Grosso right now, and here comes Brennan. He's on a full-on chat sprint. Could he possibly make it over, or is he just going to lead in Groves here? Groves can't take the risk too much here. He's going to come round and try and get there. Here comes Brennan versus Groves. Oh, he's got it! He's absolutely nailed it! Matthew Brennan, never say die. Genius at work. Youngster took it out of the box. Caden Groves couldn't stay with him. He's 19 years of age, this youngster, a teenager. What an amazing run of form for this man. It just goes on. He now leads here in Catalunya, courtesy of his bonus seconds at the end. Del Grosso had really pushed on, spent his cards, I think you might say, and Groves just didn't have the legs to come round, and absolutely focused Matthew Brennan. It looked like the longest Kieran race on the planet. He's well built and indeed now extremely well regarded. We knew a bit about him, we know even more now. We know he was king of the hill today. How much longer will this go on for? He leads all classifications, bar of course the Mountains jersey. Remarkable man in action. Brennan leads overall by 4 seconds ahead of Caden Groves and Del Grosso. That was your 1, 2, 3 at the end of the day. This is what is on the cards for stage 2, Figure. As you can figure, big mountains in the middle and a rolling finale. Can't wait. If today's anything to go by, it'll be special. See you then.